Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to discuss different reading comprehension strategies that we can use with K5 learning. If you've never heard about K5 learning, tune in and I will tell you all of the goodies that K5 learning has to offer. Okay, before we dive in, I just want to let you know this is not a paid advertisement for K5 Learning. They are not paying me. I just want to share with you all of the materials that they have regarding reading comprehension because I use these materials with my students for homeschooling and I use them when I was teaching in the school system, and their materials are awesome, especially if you have the appropriate strategies to enhance their materials. So let's jump into what is K5 Learning. I pulled this right off of their website and you'll see the site listed below. K5 Learning was founded in 2011. They provide learning tools for K through 5 kids. They believe children's brains are like sponges. They can learn a lot given the opportunity. Kids can only reach their potential by learning at their own pace. Independent learning builds confidence and good study habits. Strong reading and math skills are the basis of all future learning. And yes, I mentioned math skills. K5 Learning does have math curriculum as well, but we are going to be focusing on the reading comprehension material. Okay, so now the question is, how can K5 Learning help with reading comprehension? First thing that I like about K5 Learning is that they have the reading levels. And I know almost all parents know about the reading levels because in school, most of the parents are sending home notices letting you know that your child is reading on this level, but they should be on this level. So, can you help them at home to achieve what they need to achieve so they can move up to this level? We're doing such and such in school, but we'll also like it if you could help them at home. Okay, so now I'm about to give you the tools and the tips on how you can help them at home. Now, K5 Learning has all of the reading levels from A through Z. They have all of the reading levels. Now, all you have to do is go on their website. They have workbooks, reading comprehension workbooks. You will purchase the workbook. Now, it is a downloadable workbook. You're not going to get a physical workbook in the mail. Download it, print it out. The workbook will be on the child's reading level as long as you select the correct reading level. And then once you get the workbook, there will be reading passages inside of the workbook. Now, I'm going to show you one that I use with my kids. One of my daughters is on level E. And as you can see, it has a word bank. This is the passage for level E. And then they also have the rest of the passage. And then they have comprehension questions. Front and back comprehension questions. Now, what I like about this is the reading comprehension piece is there as far as the questions. But if you know the correct tools or activities to enhance the reading comprehension piece, this is gold. It is gold. I have been using this with my children since I started homeschooling them, and I am watching them move up the levels, and it's just exciting. It's exciting for them because they know they started at level A and now they're on level T, they're on level E, they're on level P, and so they're like, oh my goodness, and they just like watching themselves move up the levels. But I am going to walk you step by step through the different strategies that you can use to enhance your child reading level. But all you have to do is go to their website, select the reading comprehension workbook, pick out the reading level that your child is on, and then you go from there. Okay, now I know you are wondering what are the different strategies that you can incorporate that will enhance your child's learning or their reading comprehension skills. One of the strategies is predicting. Then we have building vocabulary, the 5 W's, retelling, repeated reading, and then, of course, the comprehension questions. So now I'm going to show you what I mean by predicting. Okay, this is a level O page. It has the word bank, title, story, illustration, same thing, several pages to read for the story. Now for predicting, you will have your child look at the title. Have them read the title. Just roll with it. Now, let's make a prediction, or not really a prediction, but can you tell me what you think this story is going to be about based off of that title? Just roll with it. And then somebody could say, I think the story might be about somebody on roller skates. Maybe somebody's rolling a dice. Maybe somebody's rolling down a hill. All of these are good predictions just based off of that title. Then you can dig a little bit deeper and have them look at the illustrations. We have a horn here. A horn. We have a helmet. We have a box with some knee pads or shoulder pads in it. And then we have a boy on a skateboard. Now, let's think back to what we already stated as far as our prediction or what we thought the story was going to be about. Now, do you want to change what you think it's going to be about based off of the illustrations? And then you will give them that time to think about it. Well, I think it's going to be about a little boy who's learning how to roller skate. And then you'll go, okay. So now we're going to read the story. And at the end of the story, we're going to see if your prediction was accurate. Now, that is how you will help a child make predictions. Now, building vocabulary. We have our word bank. Before you begin any of these stories, you are reading these words to your child. Depending on their reading level, they may know all of the words in the story, and you can just say, okay, you tell me what the words say, and then tell me what they mean. Are there any words that you don't know what they mean? So inside of this word bank, we have hobbies, unicycle, skateboard, wobbly, trumpet, abandon. After you read the words out loud, or the child reads the words out loud, then you'll say, do you know what these words mean? Are there any words inside of the box that you're not sure of the meaning? And then if they say that there are certain words that they're not sure about, you can give them an example. Like put the word in a sentence and then say, okay, now, can you tell me what do you think the word means? Now, if they're on level A, B, the basic beginners, then you can tell them what the word means. But if you have a child who's like a deep thinker, then they might be able to tell you what it means if you give them an example. So that is building the vocabulary. Also, for building vocabulary, you can have your child skim through the selections. Skim through. Have them find the words in the word bank and highlight them. Why are they doing this? Because this way it will jog their memory when we come to that word. They can go, oh, that was one of the words from the word bank. And then they'll look back at it and go, what was that word? Okay, she said it was. And then they'll go head on. So that is also helping them with their vocabulary because you already discussed the words and you discussed the meanings. So by the time they get to it inside of the story, they should be familiar with that word. So that is how you can build vocabulary. Now, the 5 W's. We should all know what the 5 W's are. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. For this activity, you can have the child read the passage, depending on their level. If it's a beginning reading, you might read the passage on the first day. And see, I said day. We'll get to that later on because that is another way that you can extend the activity by breaking the activity or the reading into different days. But we'll get to that. No rushing, no rushing. Okay, so now you might read the passage or have the child read the passage. Then after they read a paragraph, you can stop and say, okay, now who was this paragraph talking about? Who was the story talking about? And then they'll be able to tell you. What was going on in the story? Let them tell you. Well, why did this happen in the story? Or how did this happen in the story? Or when did this happen in the story? So that is how you use the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. So basically, you are asking them questions about what is going on in the story using the 5 W's. It's called questioning. The child can also ask questions as well. If they don't understand, they can ask a question to gain an understanding. Next, we have retelling. Retelling is basically having the child summarize what they read. So once they finish reading the story, you might say, okay, now tell me about the story. What was going on? And then you could also say, based on one of the pictures that you saw, I saw the little boy on the roller skates. What was he doing? What happened? And then you let the child tell you. And then you go, okay, thank you, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand what's going on, but you explained that very well. So that is a way of retelling. Repeated reading. Repeated reading. Now, this is what I was talking about for day 1, day 2, day 3. In the beginning stages when using K5 learning, I did repeated reading all of the time. And it actually stretches out the activity or the reading passage, because if you have a child who is a fluent reader and they have great vocabulary, they can read the story in one day. They can answer the questions in one day. You might be able to ask them some questions and they'll spit out the answers to you. They fully comprehend. Those individuals do not need to have repeated reading as far as reading this story more than once. But for those beginning readers who are like on level A, B, C, D, they can benefit from the repeated reading. And when I say repeated reading, this is what I mean. I'm going to show you. This is level E. As you can see, this is the passage. And then there is some more on the second page. So what I would do, first day. Now I'm jumping ahead, but just bear with me. First day. This is what you would do on the first day. Introduce vocabulary words. Introduce the vocabulary words. Use them in the sentence. Make sure the child has a full understanding of the vocabulary words. And then after you introduce the vocabulary words, you'll go ahead and ask them to read the title. Now, what do you think the story is going to be about based off of the title? This is all first day. They're telling you. Then you're going to say, this is for beginning readers, first day. You can say, listen as I read the story, especially if they're level A, just learning how to read. You're going to model to them how to read the story. So you will read the story. First day, who's reading it? You. You are reading the story. And then that is where you're going to stop. So first day, you built vocabulary, you made a prediction, you read the story. You can go through at the end of the first day and ask about the prediction. You can do that. But that is the first day. It's not overwhelming the child. You can ask them a quick question like, who is the main character? Who is the story talking about? But don't overwhelm them. Second day, come back. Read the vocabulary words again. Have the child tell you what the words mean. Read the title, but this time you're not going to make a prediction because we already did predictions on day 1. And then day 2, you're going to have your child read the passage. You're going to have your child read the passage, and you are going to help them with the words that they do not know. This is day 2. Child reads, you help them with the words that they do not know. And then after you help them with the words they do not know and they finish reading the passage, you can ask the child to tell me, what was this story about? Because they're not fluent readers yet. And when you're not a fluent reader, you read choppy. And sometimes, basically when you read choppy, you cannot comprehend what the story is about because there are so many gaps. You're trying to figure out, what word did you just read? Did I say that word correctly? I do not know this word. So now you're going to stop them and say, tell me, what was the story about? And then you're going to see how much they can retell. This is day 2. Day 3, go back, have the child read the words, because now this is the third day. They should be able to read these words. Have the child read the word. Have the child read the title. Have the child read the passage. They're reading the passage. And now after they read the passage, guess what? Now you're going to move on to the questions and do the first page of questions. Just the first page, because normally there's 2 pages. And then day 4, go back, have the child read the words, read the title, read the story, but you assist them with words they do not know. And then they will do the last set of questions. Now, if you realize we went through the different strategies, we made a prediction on the first day. We built vocabulary on the first day, and we're going to continue to do that throughout the week. 5 W's. You can do that on the first day, or you can do it throughout the week. Retelling, have the child tell you what they read. That can happen on the first day when you read it, or throughout the week after they read it. Repeated reading is what they're going to do for day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, because they're going to be reading the story for a full week. By the end of that week, they should be able to read that passage or that story without any problems, because they had a whole 4 to 5 days to go over those words. Reading comprehension, the questions that they provide, you're going to do that on the last 2 days. But don't forget, you were also asking questions as well throughout that week. So that is how you will enhance your child's reading with the K5 learning. All right. Now we have discussed the different strategies that you can use to enhance your child's reading comprehension using K5 learning. I also threw in extra strategies that you can use to enhance the K5 learning materials. I hope this was beneficial for you. Just go ahead on over to K5 learning. Get your child's, first of all, find out what is your child reading level from your teacher. Once you find out what the reading level is from the teacher, go to K5 learning, go get their workbook, print it out, print out the whole page. Or if you don't want to print out the whole page, you're going to just print out the pages that you need on that day that you're going to work with. Because sometimes I'm going to purchase it. It's like $3, $3.95 to purchase the workbook. And then I'll download it, but I'm not going to print out the whole workbook on the same day. Why? Because that's a lot of ink. So I'll just print out the pages that I need. So we're going to be on this story for a whole week. Guess what? I'm going to print out this whole story. And then we'll use that for the week. Then next week, I'll go print out another one. So you don't have to print out the whole workbook, but you're going to pay your little $3.95 for the workbook, or $4.95, depending on how much it costs. And you're going to get the workbook on your child's reading level, and you're going to work through it. Use those strategies. Use the strategies. Remember, it only takes about 10 minutes a day, 10, 15 minutes a day to work with your child on this. And by the end of the week, the month, you're going to see an increase in your child's reading comprehension. So don't say I didn't tell you or I didn't help you with helping your child to comprehend. I'm giving you the tools. I'm giving you the strategies. Go ahead and use them. And I hope you all have a good day.